All right, you want to talk about this GOG preservation program?
Sure. I don't know if we mentioned this before at some point or not, but there was an issue with the video games. What the foundation is, but just basically, video games. I think it's called historians or something like that. They were denied pretty much exemption for being able to preserve games. So GOG sort of stepped up as a result, and they have a program called the GOG Preservation Program, and it's something that they're working on as far as being able to get older games running on modern hardware, so that way games that are older can still be able to be enjoyed by people with newer hardware and future hardware down the line. Even. And right now they're able to get 100 classic games from their library and catalog, and they release them with updates and new builds, and they're continuing to try to work on making other games available to play on modern hardware. So, as the article says from VGC, the first compatibility certified games included entries in the Resident Evil, Warcraft, Dragon Age, Fallout, System Shock, Diablo, Heroes of Might and Magic, Dungeon Keeper, The Witcher, and Monkey Island franchises. And also, just in case anyone's very confused about Resident Evil, Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 were released on GOG about a month or so ago, and these are like the original versions. This isn't like the remake of Resident Evil 1, 2, or 3. So just in case anyone's confused what that means. And so GOG says it plans to keep adding more games to the preservation program over time, and it shared a statistic from video game. This is what I was thinking about before I couldn't remember. The Video Game History Foundation, which claims that 87% of games created before 2010 are inaccessible today, which is a lot of games. And that is pretty much it for the article. I have my own thoughts, which I'll share shortly, but I'll let you go ahead and kick this off.
Good old GOG. That's all I have to say. But really, no, I love this. I love the fact that they're making this to keep these games functioning. Because even though most of the time you're not really going to have any issues with getting games on the hardware, there definitely are situations where you're going to have problems running some of those games. Like my buddy on Discord, who's very much a console gaming guy, and it's like his biggest thing has been trying to run Dragon Age on Windows. And he has the Steam version, which I guess has a problem that it just doesn't work on games like launch, and it crashes not long after. And I think it's like a memory leak or something like that. I believe that the fix is basically just like shutting off a couple of cores when you first boot in order to get it running, and after that it runs properly. For someone who knows how to do that stuff, it's probably not too difficult to fix. The fact is that this is one of the things that keeps console people away from this. And I'm not saying, like, I know this guy, he's not going to do the switch over even at this point. But GOG, of course, you can get the games completely DRM free. You don't have to use the Galaxy launcher at all. You can just get the EXE and you can run the game and you're good to go. But I just love the fact that they're making this crazy games out there where they can have issues running. The less hoops that you can jump through them, especially when you're trying to get people who are not used to PC gaming, whether they decided that they want to try out PC gaming or they just want to play, a game of Dual Dare that can't play on the current console, like Dragon Age. You can play that if you have an Xbox 360 or PS3. You might be able to do backwards compatible. Series X. I'm not sure about that. Yes, you probably could. But you can't do it on the PS5. Having access to these games that otherwise are inaccessible is great. And anytime that they can do something to make that happen, it's great. And that reminds me that I need to look up this old game that I tried playing back in the 90s that I never got very far into. It's called Lunas. I probably actually still have the CD-ROM version of the game. But I remember when I was a kid, like I couldn't really figure out where to go or anything. Like I'd go through like this early tutorial area, and I'd get to this first area where it was like a shooter, and I didn't know what I was doing because I was a young kid and never played a first-person shooter before. And so I just like stand in one spot and I'd like shoot stuff for a while. And when I would die. I need to look on GOG and see if that game is there somewhere, because if I can find it, I'm probably gonna get it so that I can finally play that game that's been technically my backlog for like 30 years. Or however long it's been. I think it was like 1984. It could be similar. The point is that GOG's great. I don't utilize them enough mostly because it's just one more group to jump through sometimes. At least when I got to installing Galaxy so that I could access the game. And I only want to use Galaxy. I just want, even though it has the cloud saver, which is great, technically I just install the game on Steam.
This is definitely a very great thing, and I mean, to a degree, I mean, I don't know if this technically would count as the same thing, but I do know that with certain older games, GOG has sort of patches, or I can't remember if these are official patches or patches that were sort of community made, but they would sort of bundle these in with the game, so that way the games that were older and couldn't necessarily take them were hard to run on modern hardware, were, if you bought the game and you downloaded it and installed it, the patches were already included, and you were able to play these games on newer hardware because of the fact that they went ahead and installed bundled the patches with them, which I think is great, because unfortunately those sort of things aren't necessarily included with the Steam versions. So it's great that we have that sort of thing, and that's actually something that I was even made aware of. I can't remember what the channel is called, but there's a channel I've watched before, and this guy plays older games, and he really talks about, you know, how much he enjoys the GOG versions because of the fact that a lot of fixes were applied to the GOG versions because they're already patched into there with them. So I think that's definitely possibly another reason why it's great to use GOG if you want to play some older games. I can't remember if GOG was the first one to do it or not, if there was the first one to publish this, but at least it was one of the first ones. It came to GOG before Steam, but Daggerfall had a Unity version made, so that way people could actually play it on modern hardware, because if you were originally going to be playing Daggerfall, and I think also the first Elder Scrolls Arena, you actually have to use DOS emulator in order to actually run those games, since those are really old games. But with the Unity version, you actually can just play that game directly on your current hardware. And I'm pretty certain that GOG was the first store to have it, and eventually at some point Steam had it. But yeah, GOG definitely goes through a lot of stuff to make sure that older games are able to be played on modern hardware, which I think is great. You know, being able to play these games and not worry about oh man, I really sort of like need to have two PCs. One PC to play my modern games, and another PC to play my older games, or GOG's like, no, you don't need that. Just have your PC, install the games, you're good to go, buddy. So I think it's great, It's one of the reasons why I advocate for GOG, and people say, oh, PC gamers are just a bunch of Steam fanboys. They just want you to, Steam's monopoly. They don't care about any other stores. That's why they want Epic's to fail. No, GOG, unlike Epic Games, provides a service that no one else really cares about. And sadly enough, not even Valve does it. They provide DRM-free games that you buy, you own. No one can take them away from you, no matter what. So that's something that Valve doesn't offer. That's something that Epic doesn't offer. And so that's why I really like to recommend GOG when I can. It lacks in many features. The Galaxy is a far cry from Steam whatsoever. It's got a lot of issues, but what they offer, the DRM aspect of the games, and being able to play these games, especially now with the new initiative, being able to play older games on modern hardware without any issues, that's just another reason why I would recommend GOG. Of course, I would still will just run them through Steam because of the fact that all of the special features like Steam Overlay and be able to remap my controls, Steam just has that, and that's great. But if I want to, get a game that is, game that's available only on GOG because it's the older game, or if I'll even double dip. I purchased games from both Steam and GOG, Horizon Zero Dawn. I bought it on Steam first, came to GOG. I want to support Sony playing games DRM free, so I bought. In fact, every single Sony game that came out to GOG, I've purchased, and even ones that I don't even own on Steam, like God of War, Uncharted. I don't own those games. I don't own those games on Steam, but I bought them on GOG because they're DRM free, and I want Sony to put more games on GOG, so that way we have DRM free copies. Of course, the way Sony's going with their whole you need an account to play these games, I feel like that's going to stop soon enough. But for the time being, it's definitely a good run. But I really also just want publishers in general to not be afraid of GOG. It's people will enjoy being able to just buy a game and know that they own it. So why not give it a shot, publishers? But yeah, I'm going off track. But all in all, this is a great thing. I'm definitely glad that GOG is doing this, and I hope that more games are able to be added to this in the future, and we just get more games that are able to be played years down the line.
For sure. Yeah, and I did look, and GOG does not have Ludicrous, so I can probably find it somewhere. Probably need a DOS simulator or whatever in order to be able to run it. So eventually, I just want to try it because I want to see okay, now that I'm actually experienced with video games,